Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to some more New Cities. Episode 2 here. We're checking more of the game out. We unlocked schools last time. Factories as well, from what I hear. And the school is definitely pricey. Yikes. Look at that. And I guess it costs $398,000 a year to run. But it enhances the value in the area. And there's a high school diploma limit, plus 1,000 to education to a value. So it's definitely something we're going to want to save up for and build. We'll probably need a higher population before we could do that. We might be able to even raise property taxes once we get that up there. But something I want to show you guys, I think is important, is if you go through, you can see different things. So, for example, pollution is one of them. Caused by farms, factories, and traffic. Parks counteract pollution. Pollution inhibits density and land value. So you always got to keep track of your pollution. So that way you can make sure you keep things like land value in check. There's also crime. And that's why I figure eventually we're going to need to probably build a police station or something. You see crime here is actually starting to get kind of high. Education. And education increases land value, reduces crime, and allows factories and offices. Prosperity, which is kind of cool. Economic activity of an area. Right now you can see there's a little bit of prosperity. It looks like maybe these buildings are highlighted. No, those are just the roofs. So, but prosperity versus like the entire map, you can see obviously there's some prosperity here because that's where the city is. Value, I think, is really cool. So it's actually like measures the land value, and you can see in your city like where the value is dropping because of things like industry or houses, and where putting parks and schools and stuff would increase the value. So I find that to be really unique, and I think that the developer did an excellent job with this in the fact that he placed a higher value on the coast. And isn't that the truth? Especially in a country like America, where I live, generally you're going to pay more in property taxes if you do something like live right next to the water, because it is just considered a higher quality of living. And so it's cool to see that your citizens actually place a significantly higher value on living next to the water than, say, farther inland where the value is lower. There's also a couple areas like higher up seems to have higher value, like higher elevations, which I think is kind of cool, versus living in maybe a lower elevation or a flat area. But you can see that the value is actually really high right up against the shore. And then there's density. It doesn't really affect us yet because we just don't really have a lot of people and businesses in an area. But yeah, all stuff you're definitely going to want to keep track of. So the school, and then we know farms and factories now. And so if we take a look, if we start dropping this, then we get farms and factories. Hopefully factories don't appear next to the farms. I'm not sure if you can actually cycle between the two. That I have not messed around with, but I definitely don't want farms and factories next to each other. So it'll probably just be a matter of seeing what happens with that. And some of these here seem to be maybe hurting for money, some. I actually don't know what that symbol means. Let's see. It's kind of cool. I like that. You could just kind of go off into that screen there. Value is lower here. Prosperity. Yeah, I see it's happening to a lot of these now. It's got to be something to do with money. Could be property taxes. I'm going to lower property taxes a bit. And it is wintertime. I imagine if farms were going to suffer, it'd be during wintertime. And we certainly need some more farm and industry. Yeah, I am nervous. I don't want to get factories and farms in the same area. I feel like that would just be awkward, but let's go ahead and see if we could do some more farming down here. Gonna cost me a ton of money though. So I could just build a few smaller farm plot areas, kind of like this, I guess. I can't even do any more than that. So let's just throw these up. Yep, perfect. A lot of farms moved right in. That's crazy. But all help wanted. And some of these farms still hurting for, I'm assuming hurting for money. Or slow business. Wish I knew what that meant. Maybe we could take a look and see. There's a couple of different graphs here. I don't think any of these are going to help us, though. Industrial demand, that's kind of cool. So this stuff's all handy. Amenities effect. Okay. No, it went away for a lot of them, but the snow is here. Cool that the game already has a lot of weather effects like that. You know, I'm probably hurting too for just, I mean, you can see that there's definitely a lack of housing and there's a high demand for it. So I really want to get this last thing in. I just don't have the money to do it. So we'll wait until that ticks in. I could always just throw houses along the edge here, but I'd like to refrain from doing that if possible. See, factories did not build here, just farms, so that's good. I want to keep this farming area separate. I'll probably keep building onto this. I did mention in the beginning of the game that farms will take up a large portion of the map, actually. So I'll just keep turning all this into farming area. I might build another residential area somewhere down here. I think it'd be cool to kind of build multiple cities across the map and have them all connected. Maybe we'll build a highway up to here, put another city up here, and have like a big industrial area. So this will be like the small sort of farming community, and then there'll be like a more factory-based community up here with lots of factories off in the distance and stuff like that. Just kind of mix it up a bit. But yeah, let's definitely get that demand for housing settled right now. Look at that. Look at the people just move right in. That's great. So hopefully we'll be able to expand upon that some. The highway would be probably very expensive to put in, so I think I need to just focus on building some of the other stuff here. I just noticed that, let's see, test mode, select mod pack. I just noticed that my guides went away, and I don't know why that is. Obviously, there's a key that must do that, but I don't know what the hotkey is. Oh, there. If I go into roads, it's there. Okay, okay, I don't know. It's back now. It was gone and now it's back. I wouldn't mind building down to the water. How is the actual value down here? It's significantly high. So I think we should build a road up into here and then put a bunch of houses along the water. To try and make really lucrative homes. So this is going to be like just stupid expensive though. So regardless of how I do it, it's going to be a hell of a run. I guess I could just start building that way. I don't think that I should completely... Yeah, see, I don't know what a good way to approach this is. Because I also need to build, or at least want to build a road across here to sort of open this up. You can see how expensive that's going to be. So why don't we just start expanding a little bit this way? We'll do that, but this time maybe we'll go this way with the roads instead of the same way. Like this. At least connect it to here for now and start doing residential like that. Yeah, that'll work. I don't have a lot of money to do much else though. Still pretty high demand for everything. Let's get those property taxes back up. A couple of these businesses maybe not making money. I'm assuming that's what that is. I'm sure it doesn't mean that they're making too much money. People struggling to find jobs. See, I don't know what these icons are, and I have, as far as I could tell, no way to click on it and see. I'm sure there's something somewhere that I'm missing. Prosperity, crime. Crime's getting kind of high. Education, yeah, I wanted to save. Ooh, we're getting a little bit of density now. We didn't have that before. Yeah, we have another commercial area here, though, and it hasn't filled, so I'm not... I mean, this one is definitely filled right up. But I'm not too concerned about it because of the way that one looks. Wow, we've already brought a pretty good amount of money in, though. That's good. Let's see what we need the most right now. Both houses and farms. All right, let's make sure there's enough farms because I think we're getting a little bit of a lack of jobs here. Oop, so let's make sure we do some farms this way. Yeah, and people moving rating because, frankly, we need it. That's how bad we were hurting for more businesses. And, yeah, that's nice. Perfect. That's about as far as I want to take the whole farm industry. That's going to run me right through, so I'm going to have to build just a little bit further out. And run across, which is going to cost me almost $1 million, but we'll do it. And we'll actually finish these off. That I don't like. I did it wrong. Oh, maybe it is right. It just looks like it's at an angle. But it is following the line. It must just be the hill or something. All right, and then we could throw a few more farms in on this. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. All right, we're almost to the point with the school. Let's save up for that bit. Town is looking good though. I might connect this down to here, just a quicker way to, yeah, we've got some money. Let's spend it and connect this just to see if that increases the amount people travel down that way. I want to see if the school's actually got a kind of radius on it. It doesn't look like it really has a radius. Where would I even put the school? It probably makes sense to put it somewhere down here. Maybe. Like I said, I want to connect these somewhat like this. Just to help with traffic. There. Oh, that looks so good. I don't think it's perfectly center. It definitely isn't. It would have had to have been more like here, but still, that's fine with me. Yeah, it's definitely not center. I could do it in kind of thirds. Then it would look a little bit more proportional. That, oh God, I made it worse. Oh, I made it worse. No, I can't let it go now. I think we're getting money back. Oh, we're spending money for doing this. Mistakes have been made. Okay, everybody just ignore that happened. I'll redo it. I thought that I could let it go, but I couldn't. It just was too brutal to look at. So much for the school. I think we have a really high residential though, so I want to get more houses up. Is that really how close they are here? I guess it is. Just doesn't look like that from certain angles. But those are the different lines there. So if I do that and I throw residential here. There we go. Yeah, that'll fill right up. We'll make sure it's kind of just this equal balance between population and some other stuff. Did you hear about that new supermarket going up? New amenities, small park. Next achievement, if our corporation chooses our city for their new headquarters, they'll sponsor a community college. If a corporation chooses our city for the new headquarters. Cool. So that we could build a park or something now? Okay, we have the money to do it, but let's focus on the school. We want to, you know, people want to have a little bit of an education here. I really was thinking about putting the school down here, but actually it makes a lot more sense to probably put the school up here where it's going to be a little bit more central of the of this area. So probably going to branch something off here and just put the school right in here, and then I'll do another one over here for a park. So like this. I'll fit the school and the park in here. So I will actually remove all these zones. Make sure that they're all out of there. The houses will go away once I build something there, I think. So let's save up for that school, like I said before. Then, yeah, like I said, school here, park here, and it should kind of touch everything. Might need to, might need more farms. This is filling right up. Let's put some farms in the outside part here then. I'm confident we can do that. I don't think I'm going to build anything off of here anytime soon. Still trying to build my way towards the water. There's a little bit of a commercial demand now. Again. And so I could fill this whole section over here with commercial businesses or all the way along here. I guess it makes sense to do it over here, actually. But, you know, the commercial businesses are kind of silly, right? Because I feel like we haven't really... Like, we still haven't even filled this center area here, but I'll just throw them up. Because it matches everything right now. People are starting to kind of fill these areas. Most of it just looks like it's turning into... The hell kind of commercial parking lots, I guess? I don't even know what half this stuff is. It's kind of weird. It's not lowering value, is it? It doesn't seem like it. The value just sucks everywhere regardless. Especially around the farms. Okay. And we can build the school, so let's go ahead and drop that bad boy right here. I definitely think is a good spot for it. It's actually cheaper if I put it on this little main drag here. Let's go for it. There we go. We finally have a school. I'm just going to slow down a bit so I can see. How's traffic looking? Vehicles moving right along. Don't see any type of congestion. That's something we can track in here, I think. Prosperity's looking better. Value. Okay, I can't tell if the school's really helped. I mean, the value's definitely better here. It's pretty garbage over here. Education. Looks like everybody maybe in this area is getting an education. I think the school is definitely going to help. I want to get the park built over here as well. But I think we should focus on... Okay, these farms are once again showing this. Looks like somebody giving somebody money. It must be taxes too high is the issue. So I could drop taxes a bit. Well, money's going to be tight now because of the education. I have assets now. 2.3 million because of school, I think. 3.5 million in total earnings. The line of credit here. Now I have a line of credit 15 million. I'm not going to utilize it. I could, but I'm not. I'm going to keep expanding residential, I think. Yeah, it's the one thing we still need a lot of. Like I said, heading straight for the water. I could actually build all the way to it if I wanted to, and I'm going to do that. And I'm going to actually make a... Let's see. Let me come back a bit here. I'm going to make a boulevard kind of following the water. Like this. Let me see actually where the high value... So, it's pretty much just along the whole water area. So let me go ahead and do this. I'm going to make a boulevard kind of coming off. I'm going to follow this. That's nice. I don't have the money to do anything else. And we'll get rid of this little area here. So that's kind of cool. And if I throw houses up on the boulevard maybe, or... Oh, I could put houses at the end of this. That's kind of neat. I kind of like that. So I can make little boulevards off and put houses on them in the more higher value areas. Let me see how this works. So if I do this, and I'll give them maybe a little bit more space in between, just to make them kind of nicer. I don't know if this actually is really beneficial, because obviously, boy, I do like that though, just for looks and stuff. But I don't know if it's really more beneficial, because I don't know if these people actually going to pay more in property taxes. It'd be kind of cool if you could set property taxes to maybe local areas, municipalities and such. You know, like, oh, everybody on the water is going to pay, 5%. Everybody else like here is going to pay 2% or 3%, something like that. This commercial area is not even taking off at all, but the other commercial areas have sort of filled up, so it's a possibility that it might. Still definitely a high demand for these living areas. Location. If someone builds a mansion, they'll sponsor a zoo. Oh, cool. So these would probably be the areas where people would put mansions up, I would imagine. So maybe there is a little bit of a sort of mechanic to do like a nicer area. So we can sort of come down off of here. And, a lot of these could be lined with more houses, because it just makes sense. Especially because they're such nice little boulevards and such. And then we could put some, smaller roads between them if we need to. Maybe connecting this. Well, I liked it the way it was before. But I definitely think it should be connected. Upper class living area. This is where we're gonna have to put a park someplace over here, just to continue to increase the living there. But you have values significantly higher in that area of the map. None of these have turned to factories. I'm gonna go ahead and throw some farms on this outside area, because I know they'll blow right up. And I guess down here, no more farms though. Looks like the residential's mainly what we need. And we've got enough for the park, so let's go ahead and build one. Gonna cost us a lot of our money, but should definitely be increasing the value of the area here. I need more housing, because the population ain't going anywhere unless we get housing up, but we'll save that challenge for the next episode since we're out of time. Probably keep growing the more rich mansion-y area at some point here. I don't want to expand this area too much, I don't think. I don't know if I want to get too close to this. I guess it don't matter, because this area here is going to eventually go down the coast and around. And then probably down this whole coast here and back in, and then I'll fill this with some residential and stuff. But at some point, we might want to build a overpass or a highway off to the side here to head up, maybe to another town? I don't know, we probably got to wait till we have a lot more people before we start doing stuff like that. But we'll see if we get the mansion here and stuff. The parks might help with some of that. And get the 10,000 people, I think. With that being said, thank you all for joining me. I hope that you've enjoyed it. I look forward to seeing you next time.